going to smuggle bomb-making material into the Pacific Northwest. They were not sure who that person was until they arrested somebody in December 1999.
We were preparing a movement concerning the Patriot Act, and we put in information out in the web, getting more organizations more involved in the Patriot Act rally in Houston. Then one day we got a call from a few people who was victims, and they was asking for help. Originally, I said no, because I actually did not believe a situation like this can happen to anyone in this nation. So we did the rally. A lot of the victims came down, and they participated, and my heart went out. I saw the emptiness in their eyes. I heard the trembling in their voices. I even watched them cry. A few of them said in my church services that Sunday morning, and I couldn't believe some of the horrid stories I heard while they was testifying. So I talked to one of the church secretaries, and I said, you know, it have to be something to what these people are saying. So we really need to look into this a little bit deeper than what I did. So we started investigating it, and we found out that there is some things that the government did do back in the 60s, which was experimental, which led us to believe that the individuals that's going through it now was part of that situation of being victims. So I told my secretary, I'm in. I will help.
I went to ministers of churches and asked them to pray for me and anoint me with oil. I listened to the voice transmissions and looked up words on the internet and found groups on the internet and asked people for help and started studying and learning about different things that was happening to me, and reached out to others such as Dr. Gillum, asking what we could do. I started writing to legislators and trying to find out as much as I could from the internet.
Well, I went to the police on several occasions, and each time they sort of put me off. With this listening device, they believed that however close they got, our conversation would be overheard. So there was little help at all, and one time I was forced to go out and actually sit on the stoop of the apartment building trying to escape this harassment.
A reward is being offered for the arrest and conviction of a criminologist named Johnny or any of his co-workers. They work in a high-tech department related to brainwave studies. There may have been many resignations from their department since October of 1999.
And it's an ongoing situation. It's a constant creating you a situation to spend money, waste money, so you can't pay your bills, so you can't feed your children. It will even go as far as the utility companies, where they would jack up your utilities and have it where you cannot pay your utility bills. It will go as far as your car note, saying the car company you're buying your cars from saying you didn't send your car note in. Will go as far as certain organizations will come into your house where you're going and put bugs in your house so they can listen to your conversation. Put cameras in your house, in your bedroom, to watch your wife, and then put it on the internet. It's more to this than the eye will meet. It creates pain. It creates suffering. The government can use the satellite that's in space and make each individual wish that they were dead. Pray to God to take him out of this world. Unfortunately, these people have no one to help them, no one to stand up for them. That is why I stood in the middle. I'm not going to tell you it's been easy. Some of the most horrible things since I've been helping these people have happened to me. But it made me even angrier and said, I'm not giving it up. I'm going to fight. I'm going to stand up for the end. The most important thing we have to realize, what these people are going through now, it can happen to your loved ones. It may be happening to your loved ones, and you're saying they're losing their mind. Unfortunately, it don't necessarily mean they're losing it. What it can mean is that they're victims also.
Of course, I was very frightened. I was very angry. And I realized I couldn't tell people that this was happening to me because they would not know what it was. I didn't have a way or an understanding to describe these things. So I really couldn't tell anybody. I also was going through churches, which happens at the homeless shelters. I thought perhaps this is demonic possession. I did talk to a few ministers, I remember, and asked them if they could, I can't think of the words, but remove the demonic possessions. They anointed me with oil. They slayed me in the spirit. I fell to the ground. I thought it was maybe God speaking to me. And that's how I asked to be healed and cured.
That's probably the most difficult part because nobody wants to believe what you're saying. It's so unusual to have these experiences that they're just not credible, and people tend to put you off and think you're a little bit on the delusional side.
Others gave me a quick brush off. They would just start talking about something else, like they didn't really want to hear what I had to say. They couldn't register or understand what I was trying to describe. And I had no words to describe it because I didn't know the weapons existed at those times. I could just attribute it to either PTSD or I'm possessed with demons. So to this day, very few people really have the capacity to comprehend what I'm trying to describe. So I really can go nowhere except to other victims who understand me.
It's more to life for any individual. No one should live like this. No one should hurt. No one should suffer under any circumstances in this fashion.
A congressional staff member and I spoke recently about a law enforcement incident. After the conversation, he said, quote, "How many thousands of Americans has this happened to, and how many thousands more will it happen to if it is not stopped?"